This is the Making Noise podcast.
You're so good with being able to provide benefits for everyone else, you know?
Thank you.
And so one of the things that I love is on your website, the way you label the different tabs
Yeah.
for composers, for presenters, right?
Yeah.
Could you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. I made that change probably a year ago or so. Like it hasn't been too long, but before it kind of followed that pretty ubiquitous outline that's kind of like about performances, recordings, whatever, something like that. And then I thought about it, and I feel very strongly about identifying your primary, secondary, and tertiary audiences. This is a thing that I talk about in lots of different music entrepreneurship things, but your primary audience is, who is hiring you, right? Or at least in my case, who is hiring me, who is putting money in my pocket. And because I want to set up the path for them to find exactly what they need, right? I want to make it easier for them to be like, Megan, of course we want you. Of course we want to hire you. So I need to set up the path so that they can Google new music mezzo-soprano, and hopefully they're finding me, and then they get onto my website and they're like, oh, this is clearly for me, right? So I set that up because I asked myself, who are my primary, secondary, tertiary audiences? What are they coming to me for? How do I make this experience? It's kind of just UX, right? It's like user design, and thinking about what is the user experience with your materials. I want them to end up on my site and go, this is clearly for me. So if you're a presenter, you're looking at it and it's like, oh, well, let me just follow this tab a little bit. You're going to see all of my touring programs. You're going to hear samples. You're going to hear who I'm working with. And then also you're going to see how to book me, right? How to take that next step. So there's always a call to action. And then the same thing for composers, because I work with composers all the time, right? And I've had these materials. I have a range guide. I have information about my voice, about things that I like to do.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Examples. And so I had that as like a PDF that I would always just send in an email and just connect with people that way. And then I realized, well, why don't I just put this on the site? people can use it. And so because I'm working with composers so regularly, I just wanted to let them know that they're in the right place. I want you to write for me. I want to work together. I want to bring your sounds to life. Let's be in collaboration together. Here, let me make it easier. And then also, you don't have to dig through your inbox. If we are working together, you don't have to dig through your inbox and be like, she sent me that PDF. Where is it? Right? I'm just going to go back to her website. And then also for listeners, right? If you're coming to my website, and you want to listen to the things that I do, here you go. This is what I'm about. This is how you can listen to the things that I do. And then also because of my coaching and consulting stuff, I have a page on there, for clients so that they can find their way to me and know that it's all part of what I do. So
I love that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm glad it works for you.
It does. Well, there's the thing is when I asked the question, so much of what you do is making the process easier for everyone who you're working with.
Oh, good.
Calendly, right? The scheduling thing. Your website, it's not even about Megan, it's for presenters, for composers. It's not about you, it's about them.
Right. Because we're working together. And I think that's the thing that I really want more than anything else. If you're coming to my website, it's primarily because I want you to get something out of this, and we're in this together. So you're coming to my website. Here it is. I pulled these things together, and you can also explore after that. You go wherever you want to, right? Maybe you're a composer, but then you want to be a coaching client, and you're like, oh, I'm just going to go on over here. So it's set up with that in mind. And then one of the things that I wanted to say in this case is that you yourself, you, the artist, you, the musician, you, the composer, you're the one who understands how everything fits under your umbrella, right? And if you were to lay it out for somebody else and you say, okay, this is who I am, this is me, these are all the things that kind of fit with these other things. These like things go with like, right? And so I realized that, you know, there is a separate website for Sybaritic Singer, which is my blog, but then people were coming to my site because they want to know about that side of my life. And so I'm just going to make sure that that's an easy connection point. And I know that everything I do that falls under music entrepreneurship, audience development, creative placemaking, that all gets encompassed under what I do for Sybaritic Singer. That's just kind of that's my home base for thought leadership. So that's the blog, that's the podcast, all hangs out there, right? But then everything that's related to my performance side of my life, that's also under my umbrella, but all of that gets to go in this column over here. And it's important to me that I help direct that, because I'm the one who knows what makes up my, you know, the whole of what I do. And then I can lead people through it, because like I said, I've been doing this for, you know, years. I've been doing this for over a decade. It's my responsibility to help usher people through or shepherd people through the various facets of what I do.
I'm like hearing everything you're saying right now, and I can't wait to go back and listen to this. Like, I just heard you say it, and I already want to go back and be like, that was great.
You're like, rewind here to timestamp X. Like,
there's so many just nuggets that you're laying out, these gold nuggets, like, yep, here's that, there's this. And I can't wait to share this with people now too. I mean,
well, thanks, Al.
you know, so whenever this is live and people are watching this, you're welcome.